Okay, so after a great start in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, the wheels kind of came off of the wagon. But we are ready to get underway. Our regular season has begun, and we enter the Canadian Championship as the favorites in our match. We should make it to the next round, keeping my fingers crossed. It all starts. The 2028 season is here. And welcome everyone to episode number 29 of The American Dream. I am Mr. Cellophane. We start on the page of the CONCACAF Champions Cup, where we are getting ready to enter into the semifinals. Real Salt Lake taking on Inter Miami. So taking a small little bit of solace in knowing that even though they spanked us all over the pitch on our own ground, well, they are one tie away from making the final. So, if we're going to lose, at least we lost to one of the best. I do, however, wish I could say the same thing about our season opener as we hosted Halifax Wanderers. Ball over the top. Who's there? But Canada. Scoring the first goal of the match. It's 1-0. Johnston, though, does deliver from the spot after Noah Verhoeven was pulled down in the area. Daniels, second effort. I mean, the first one hit the wall, which meant George Marks moved out of the way. His second effort is good. It was 2-1 Vancouver, and then ball through, onside, Canada again. Slots it home into the bottom corner. 3-1 to start off our season. We're just managing 2 shots on target, 8 shots on goal in total. We may potentially have a lot of work to do this year. Just the one game, though. We still have plenty more. In fact, I think 3 more in like the next 7 days. So don't you fear. We will have plenty of opportunities to bounce back. Our first one is going to be on the road at Victoria Highlanders. We are in the first round of the Canadian Championship. Going to make a couple of changes. It's going to be George Marks in goal with El Anabe, Abatna, and Sargis as our back 3. Nanway is going to be making his starting debut for us. Dante Campbell is going to be on the right-hand side. Schiavone and Johnston in the midfield. Beecher is going to be in at the number 10. Cameron Habibullah has been recovering from a knock, so he is not quite ready to go. And Noah Verhoeven, we're just going to give the night off. And as our strikers, Alain Didier and Yevhen Ryazantsev. I was about to say, after all, it can't be worse, but going out in the first round of the Canadian Championship after we have made it to the second round in each of the last couple of years, that would be worse. 2 losses in a row. Now that goes back to our last friendly as well, which just happened to be against Halifax. So 2 losses in a row against Halifax Wanderers. They may be our bogey team this year. Hopefully Forge FC maybe falls off a little bit, and they are no longer our primary competition. And the first round of the game has gone to Victoria Highlanders. So hopefully this is going to be our match. We find our scoring boots and we come back and recapture the magic that we found against Inter Miami in that first match and early on in that second. But not a ton going on in the first 35 minutes or so of this match. A couple of bookings, though, for Victoria Highlanders, and a final third throw-in for Vancouver FC as the rain has once again begun to fall. Campbell getting it back from Johnston, taking it deep, flipping it into the middle, finds Ryazantsev. Unfortunately, his header's just a bit too strong. It will go over the crossbar. First good opportunity of the match for either team. Sadly, just not able to take advantage. Nice steal away by Johnston. Abatna will play it for El Anabi. This pitch looks huge. Is it just me, or is this pitch bigger than the one that we play on? Beecher has Didier up the middle, still dribbling it, escaping, dropping it for Nanway, quickly through, back to Didier, across for Ryazantsev, and there's his first goal of the year. It's Victoria Highlanders 0, Vancouver FC 1 in the waning moments of this first half. And this could be the point that just launches us into the rest of the match, because now Victoria Highlanders is going to be back on their heels. Maybe they're going to need to start pushing, but they're not going to have a lot of time before the halftime break. They're going to enter the locker room, hopefully, down 1-0, although still 30 seconds left to go. as Marks launches it into their end. It goes over everyone. Didier is there. Izzy behind the defense. They're going to catch up to him. He's still in control in the middle. Cleared away. Nanway, though, picking it up, sending it across. Isaiah Johnston, who blasts it home for his second goal of the year. And I was wrong. It won't be 1-0 in the locker room. It's going to be 2. Unless it's 3. Nanway on the corner. By 15 seconds remaining in added time. Noah Botna goes up. It is knocked away. Gertson played to Sargis, who turns, fires, and scores. Hayden Sargis makes it Victoria Highlanders 0, Vancouver FC 3. Well, okay then. I was not expecting that kind of performance in the first half. We stretched our arms out and said, good job, guys. 6 shots on goal, 3 on target, all of them finding the back of the net, all of them since the 43rd minute. Now that I'm talking about all of the great things we did at the end of the first half, you just know we're not going to see a highlight in the second, which in a way is okay with me. As soon as I said that, here they come. Sent forward by El Anabe. Mejia looking to clear it. Nanway, though, is going to head it out. El Anabe, Schiavone, picking up a bit of a knock, trying to get it into Johnston. Can't, but Sargis picks up the loose ball and will carry it forward once again before running into traffic, so he'll just lay it back to George Marks, coming way out of his line. Yeah, this pitch is huge. This pitch has to be bigger than the standard size, which is what we play at Willoughby Community Park. Schiavone, we're going to have to get him out in just a minute. No sense risking him anymore. Nanway, still in control, back for Schiavone, moves it to his right. Schiavone shooting from range, and that goes over everything. And really, we just need to see this match out at this point. A couple of minutes remaining. Sargis will track it down as, once again, Vancouver FC looks to move up on the attack. Beecher quickly to Kabbalah. He came in place of Ryazantsev. Up for Alain Didier. Stops, fires, and comes that close, but it will go out for a goal kick. And that should just about do it. We probably might see one more highlight with 4 added on at the end. Nah. I'm wrong. Victoria Highlanders 0, Vancouver FC 3. We are moving on. So back in the hat we go, as once again we find ourselves playing in the quarterfinals. All of the teams, though, in MLS from Canada are in the draw. This time, though, we managed to avoid them. It's going to be Valor FC. We are going to be on the road. No, no Vancouver Whitecaps this year. CF Montreal is in there. Toronto FC is in there. No Whitecaps. So we end up avoiding our foe from the last 2 years. We may even make the semifinals because I think we are a better team than Valor. Could we keep things going as we hosted Pacific in our first BC Derby of the year? Well, yeah, it took a little while, but Verhoeven put home the ball past Hogan to make it 1-0. 38 minutes in, just a couple of minutes later, we struck again. Johnston finding Pertuz, taking it deep. Alain Didier on the doorstep for his second goal of the year. Takes a little while to get us going in the match, but once we do, we're fine. Johnston once again ahead. Didier gets behind the defense. Nice burst of speed, able to slash it past Hogan. His second of the night. 3-0 your final score. Our first victory in the league and our second in a row in all competitions. Oh, come on, man. Alain Didier's been with the club for a year and change. The 20-year-old is unhappy because he wants a new challenge in a more ambitious club. Now, I am ambitious as a coach. Our board, okay, maybe not so much. Let's see if we can placate Alain Didier. Great place to play football, great bunch of lads, terrific atmosphere. Nope, disappointed with that answer. Pretty sure what we have isn't unique. Money talks. How about a pay raise? No. And he doesn't think that I've handled this particularly well. Makes me wonder if maybe Canada ain't the place for us. The big question is, can we make it 3 in a row on the road at Forge FC in the league? Well, Didier in the 3rd minute says, I think so, taking a nice feed from Noah Verhoeven. Penalty opportunity, though, in the 14th minute. Forge FC able to come back even as Cosme delivers home the ball from the spot. Matteo Schiavone, though, splitting the defense, splitting the wickets of the goalkeeper for his first goal of the year. It's Vancouver 2, Forge FC 1. Looking to add another early in the second half. And clanks it off of the post. Noah Verhoeven, Johnny on the spot, putting it home. to give Vancouver a nice, comfortable lead, but Hancock's pushing it into Imbert across. Cosme feeding Ferguson, charging toward the back post, brings Forge back within one, but then Alain Didier gets things started to put us home. Ep2's in the middle. Shivani with his second goal of the match. 4-2 Vancouver. We'd put on the exclamation point in the 71st minute. Giovanni, Didier across Ryazantsev. Plenty of empty net to shoot at. And ultimately, it was never in doubt. Forge FC 2, Vancouver FC 5. Unfortunately, that victory did not come without a cost. George Marks suffered a broken hand while trying to stop the ball in that match against Forge FC. We sent him to a specialist. He may only be out 5 to 6 weeks, but we are going to be relying on Stephen Murray for the foreseeable future. Luckily for us, we had had the foresight to sign a third goalkeeper. Andrea Magni, the 19-year-old, coming in. 6'1", 167 pounds. Great aerial reach. His positioning, though, is a little bit suspect. Things we do need to work on. Fantastic reflexes, though, so that may make up for it. Slightly inconsistent, but a high ceiling on this kid. He's going to be our third string, so we really don't probably have to worry too much about him right now. But a nice little insurance policy just in case. Sadly, with registering him, we did have to play a numbers game, and the number who came up is 34, Paris G, unregistered once again. The 33-year-old just not fitting in our plans. He had not yet featured in a match. So sadly, Paris G's time at Vancouver FC is over. So things got off to a torrid start in the first of 2 matches against Valor FC. Ball thrown forward, Didier squares it, Ryazantsev puts it home just after the 3-minute mark to give Vancouver a 1-0 lead. But the deadly final third throw in back post, Bunbury is there to tie things up at 1. And then an unfortunate penalty leads to Herrera drilling home one from the spot to make it 2-1. We threw the kitchen sink at them in the second half, but sadly it was to no avail. Vancouver 1, Valor 2. So heading into the quarterfinals of the Canadian Championship, we find ourselves second on the table. Now, Halifax Wanderers in first place, just 1 point ahead of us, does have a game in hand, as does Pacific FC, 2 points below us. So our position may change by the time we see each other again. Pretty good start to the season, though, for the team. Alain Didier leading all scorers with 4 in the league. Average rating-wise, Didier and Johnston are up there in the top 3. Ep2's with a pair of assists is tied for the league lead. And George Marks, before he broke his hand, had 2 clean sheets. So all pretty good in the early going for Vancouver. We did see an upset in one of the other quarterfinals. Halifax Wanderers knocked off Toronto FC of the MLS by a score of 3-1. Can we get one of those coveted semifinal spots? Well, here's hoping. We couldn't do it at home. Can we do it on the road against Valor FC? It's going to be Murray in goal, El Anabi, Abatna, and Sargis as our back 3. Castillo and Ep2's on the wings with Shivani and Johnston in the midfield. Ryan Beecher is going to take over at the number 10. And our strikers today, as always, well, almost as always, Yevhen Ryazantsev and Alain Didier. But nothing like the revenge team talk to get the blood pumping. It's Valor FC in a 4-3-3 against Vancouver FC. Our first loss in a long time suffered at the hands of this very team. And the stadium, my friends, is pitifully empty. It's a sad state of affairs at Valor FC. We've got 1,100 season tickets that have been sold so far this season, or thereabouts. So the fans are coming out to see us, but they did not make the trip to IG Field in Winnipeg, apparently. Although it would be very interesting to see if there may be more Vancouver fans than Valor FC fans. And in the early going, not a lot going on. A couple of chances that were easily not very good for Vancouver FC, but we have held Valor without a shot through the first 37 minutes. Let's shout out some encouragement to our team as we tick down, and this is always the way. But we are going to go through the whole first half without a single solitary highlight. 4 shots to 1 in favor of Vancouver FC. Nobody's hit the target yet. Guess we're going to have to wait to get things going until a little bit later on in this one. Some minor tactical tweaks for the second half. No longer going to try to work the ball in the box. We are going to pass the ball into space, be a little bit more expressive. And here we go. We've got ourselves a highlight, ladies and gentlemen. In the 48th minute, Sargis playing it up the wing. Pertuz slide tackle missed. Johnston with the shot. It will go across the goal mouth. It looks like it was redirected out by the keeper. So it will be a corner kick opportunity for Vancouver FC. Black versus the dark red. I love it. Beecher on. El Anabe can't get it. Ryazantsev. Johnston's shot is blocked. Schiavone knocks it down, and his attempt from range will sail harmlessly over the goal. Oh, look, there are some fans on that one side of the pitch. So turning it on here in the second half. So the changes we have made, we bumped the tempo up a little bit as well. We're still keeping that nice balanced mentality, which has been working for us for so far for this season. We don't really want to open ourselves up in the back. We just want to get a few more opportunities. Now, as we tick down to 15 minutes remaining in this match, we're going to look at the guys out there. Didier, not really doing much. Mohamedou Kane will come out and take his place. Ryan Beecher will be replaced by Noah Verhoeven. Those two adjustments, we're going to leave everything fine in the back. Murray sending it long. Pertuz can't win the header, but Sargis will ultimately gain control. Isaiah Johnston, nice switch of play over to the near sideline. He's got Castillo feeding it ahead. Ryazantsev, it gets through. Getting there first, though, is Verhoeven. Coming out is Mirasa Ranwa for some reason. But Noah Verhoeven able to just poke it past the goalkeeper to give Vancouver FC a 1-0 lead. This one was quite interesting. I mean, good defensive play by Medeiros, but the ball came out. Verhoeven was the closest player. Mirasa Ranwa, for some reason, decided to come out and challenge, and he lost the battle. And hopefully, that means they lose the game. 10 minutes to go. Corner kick, handled pretty well. Herrera with a drive will clatter off of the crossbar and go behind for a goal kick. So, one shot on target, finally, for Valor FC. Not that I want them to have any more shots on target. We are absolutely dominating them every which way to Sunday. 3 minutes added on. I think it is going to be enough. Noah Verhoeven's goal in the 77th minute will hold up. It's Valor 0, Vancouver FC 1. And we finally got past the quarterfinals, and we're on to the semis. So who are we getting in the semifinals? It's Pacific FC, CF Montreal, and Halifax Wanderers. I think right now, please let it be a BC derby. Give us Pacific FC, even if it is in their building. Sadly, they're playing Halifax, so we get the lone remaining MLS side in CF Montreal. But before we get there, we've got league matches at home against Atletico Ottawa and York United before traveling all the way to Nova Scotia to take on Halifax. We are taking on Montreal on the road, but we have finally made it through to the semifinals of the Canadian Championship. And remember, it doesn't matter what we do in the league. If we win the Canadian Championship, we are through to next year's CONCACAF Champions Cup. There's no benefit, I don't think. Maybe we go through into the round of 16 automatically, but something tells me that is not going to be the case. We're going to be taking on CF Montreal next episode, and then hopefully maybe we have a final for you as well. We will find out. You're going to need to come back tomorrow. If you liked this video, make sure that you hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already, or if you are new. And if you are brand new, welcome in. Now go back and watch the rest of the series. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye.